Kaden here. I just was thinking about my last video, and I know I said I wouldn't post until Thursday, but I didn't really put too much detail into it about, like, the process of deciding I really wanted to transition, so I took a few notes here, and I think I'll talk about that a little bit before I get my first shot on Thursday, and I will definitely be posting a video then, but I'll give you a little background now. So I guess when I was still in high school, I came out to my family. It was probably early in high school. I came out to my family as a lesbian, telling them that I was sexually attracted to women, which they took really well. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal to them. So that went well. I felt better about myself. I felt like I was finding my identity a little bit more. I still felt like something was missing. It was like I was on a high from coming out and being a little closer to who I was, but then I went back into a slump because I didn't feel like I was entirely telling the truth, or there was something missing still, I guess I could say. So, like I said in the last video, one of my friends transitioned at the end of high school, so that's when I discovered that transitions were possible. It was something that could be done medically, like it was a real thing. So I started doing some research about transitions on YouTube. I read a ton of books. I basically am a giant nerd, and whatever there is to read, I will read it because I want to educate myself on it. I'm very skeptical of things until I am educated about them. Education is power. But I did some research, and a few years later I ended up telling my family that I thought that a transition would be good for me, and I want to say that was about 2 or 3 years ago that I came out and told them that. My mom, again, she did well with it, but was skeptical. Other family members did not do so well. I sort of kept it confined to a small group of my friends and family because I was still really kind of testing the waters to see how people were going to react to it. I was in a relationship at the time that was rather unhealthy, and I don't want to go into too many details about it, but I will share that I felt that she was supportive of me and the transition, and she gave me that impression, and it felt wonderful, and I felt like I really had like someone solid that I could lean on to help me go through this transition. And then it turned out that she would flip-flop from being very supportive to being completely unsupportive. And on several occasions, she was very vicious and cruel with her words. I won't share all of them, but on one occasion, she did tell me that if she wanted to date a man, she would date the man that she fell in love with first. So that was something that was very hurtful for me to hear. It was not very encouraging, and basically the relationship was unhealthy and defeating, and so I eventually got out of that relationship, which took a long time for me to recover from that. I'm happy to say that I have recovered. I have reconnected with my high school sweetheart, and we are actually engaged. We have a beautiful 1.5-year-old girl who we love dearly. My life couldn't be better in that aspect, and my fiance is actually the best support I could ask for. She is there for me no matter what. She really has helped me with this transition and helped encourage me and be a good solid support system for me to go to when I need to talk about it, or I need to vent about it, or I'm upset about it, or I'm happy about it. She's always there, so that I'm lucky to have her. She definitely will accept me for who I am because she loves me as a person, not as a gender, which is awesome. So I actually have some exciting news. I just came out completely on social media today, this evening, so that went extremely well. I had an overwhelmingly positive reaction to coming out. Plenty of friends that I haven't talked to since high school came out and said that they were there to love and support me, and that's fantastic. Like, the outpouring was way more than I expected. It was encouraging. I feel so happy, and I feel just like I can't even explain how happy I feel right now. And that's not to say that I will hit some bumps in the road, and there are some people who did respond negatively, we'll say. But fortunately for me, those people who responded negatively aren't people that truly know me. So I feel like the people who know me well reacted incredibly. So the people who reacted negatively, even though some of them were family members, doesn't really bother me at all. I also want to talk about how I sort of struggled in coming to terms with my family not being supportive of it in the beginning. I have a really close relationship with my Grammy. She's my best friend in the whole world. I love her to death. We have matching tattoos, let me just note that. She didn't take it well in the beginning, and that was very hard for me, and I know it was hard for her too, because it was hard for her to try to come to terms with losing Caitlin. That was my female name. So you need to give people time to mourn, and I've realized that, and I need to give my mom time to mourn the loss of that person who they've known for 24 years. I'm still going to be the same person, but there is sort of a mourning process that happens and needs to happen, and that's healthy. So my grandma actually and my mom, I wrote them letters and basically explained how being stuck in this body that I don't feel is my body made me feel. And I wrote them, I just sincerely sat down and wrote out this letter, put all my feelings in it, and I gave it to them, and I said, you know, you can read this on your own time. I would love a response from you, but do it on your own time. Let me know when you're ready to talk about it. I would be more than happy to talk to you about it, answer any questions. I'm open to it. Like, I would love to have that discussion with you when you're ready. So in that way, I sort of gave them the opportunity to read the letter, kind of mull it over, think of the questions, thoughts they may have, and then I let them come to me. After I wrote that letter, my grandma really came around, and she struggled with it over the last few years, and recently she has seen how truly depressed I am. Gender dysphoria is terrible. I don't know how to explain it other than one of my friends put it very well. It is a constant and severe state of discomfort. It's all the time. It doesn't go away. Sometimes it's just better than others. Living with that discomfort is awful, and having to deal with, you know, people calling you by pronouns that you don't necessarily like is difficult, because, I mean, I grew up 24 years being called she and her, and Caitlin. It was 24 years of it, and it's not to say that it was, like, anyone's fault or anything like that, but it wasn't exactly what I would have chosen. I would have preferred to have been a male from the beginning. I think that my mom and my grandma, their eyes really got opened when they saw how truly, truly depressed I was. I was at the lowest of the low in my life, maybe just like a year ago, and they basically came to the conclusion that they just wanted me to be happy, which is really what it's all about. You shouldn't think too much into what other people have to say about you or what they think about you, because you need to be happy with you. If you're not happy with you and what's in here and what you're presenting to the public, you can't really be happy with anything else. Like, that's just how it is. If you're not happy with yourself, it's going to be very difficult to find joy in anything else. So basically, I just wanted to share a couple of those things, because, you know, my family didn't take it well at first, and I think it's important to understand that it takes time. Like, it doesn't happen overnight. I gave them a lot of resources, and I helped them educate themselves. I helped educate them about the process of transitioning, about the transgender community, and things went really well after that. So I just thought that I would share a little bit more background with me. I will be posting another video on Thursday with the injection, and I'm going to talk a little bit more on Thursday about education and the kind of books that I read and the places that I referred my mom and my grandma to. Other than that, I will see you guys on Thursday. Follow me on Instagram at K-Levin, it's K.Levin, or you can follow me on here. So I'll see you on Thursday.